Welcome to the last video of Summer Band Virtual Lessons. Congratulations on making it this far. The officer and staff team is so proud of you. As we take our last step towards band camp and our field show season, we have one last important lesson that will help you apply the skills and information you obtained during summer band to band camp, and later on to the upcoming field show. So by the end of today's video, you should be able to read a drill sheet and know how to apply the skills you have already learned to the field show. As usual, please remember that if you're confused during any portion of this video, feel free to pause and rewatch it. Again, if by the end of this video you have any unanswered questions, be sure to ask a band officer or coach for help during our next meeting. Now, for the last time, let's get this video started. The topic we will be covering today is actually a review topic. It's the parts of the field. As you recall, in Raina's forward marching video, she covered the various portions of the field. Today, we will go further in depth into each part of the field, as well as emphasize each part's importance to the field show. First, we will start off with the stands. If you recall, for the majority of the show, you will be facing the home stands, where the judge's press box is located. However, on some rare occasions, you may be instructed during the show to turn and face the back stands or the visitor stands. Now, in front of each set of stands are the sidelines. The front sideline is in front of the home stands and press box. Just outside of the front sideline is where the pit and drum majors are typically located. During the field show, the drum majors will be the ones conducting and giving you your tempo, so it's important that, regardless of where you are on the field, to always watch the drum majors for your tempo. Now, in front of the visitor stands is where the back sideline is located. The back sideline is where the assistant drum majors typically conduct from, and during practice, it is also the place where the Met is typically located. Okay, now moving forward, on the field there are two end zones. End zones are typically used as a tool when learning technique while on the field. Oftentimes when learning technique, coaches divide us up into various sections, meaning that we have to split the whole field. As a result, a coach may ask you to turn towards the Cali Mayer end zone, or the gym or PCH end zone when learning a specific skill. Additionally, when at band competitions or football games, end zones still hold some importance, as we typically enter the field from an end zone. Now, the rest of the portions of the field are the most important when learning drill. First off, the field is divided up into Side 1 and Side 2 based on the home stand's point of view. Side 1 is everything left of the 50-yard line, while Side 2 is everything right of the 50-yard line. Next, when looking at the field, you'll notice that there are these dash lines dividing that field up into three parts. These lines are called hashes. The hash line closer to the home stands is called the front hash. The hash line closer to the visitor stands is called the back hash. Lastly, we have the yard lines, which are the thick, white lines that run vertically on the field. When learning drill, make sure to utilize these parts of the field. Make sure to check that you are on the correct side and are in between the correct hash lines and yard lines. Now that you guys are aware of how the field is divided up, you are now prepared to learn how to read drill sheets. When learning drill, we utilize drill sheets. A drill sheet looks like this. This specific page of drill is from our 2016 show, which was titled, See Me, Hear Me, Heal Me. If you guys are interested in watching the show, the videos from that season are still up on this YouTube channel, so be sure to check it out. Now let's break this drill down into parts that we can understand. As you can tell, the drill sheet is basically just an image of the field. In order to ensure you are reading the drill sheet from the correct angle, you can see at the bottom of the page that it reads Director's Viewpoint. The director's viewpoint is where the home stands and press box are located, so it shows you which way you should be facing. You will also notice that the drill sheet has numbers written across the hash lines. These numbers are there to ensure that you are aware of which yard lines you are in between when learning drill. This is also where it would be important to know what Side 1 and Side 2 are, and which hash lines are which, as you could be between the right yard lines but between the wrong hash lines, or on the wrong side of the field. The drill sheet breaks down the field even further than a typical football field divides up their field. Notice how the drill has these small grids and squares. If you recall from Raina's video, each yard line represents 5 yards. When going from yard line to yard line, you may recall the standard 8 to 5 step size, meaning that for every 5 yards, the standard is to take 8 steps. If you look closely, you will notice that in between each yard line, where the distance is 5 yards, The field is divided up by little blue lines. Each line represents one 8 to 5 step. You will also notice that there are darker blue lines for every 4 lines. The purpose of dividing the field up using 8 to 5 step size is so that you know the exact place you are supposed to be during each portion of the show. Now, when looking on the field, you will notice that the dark blue lines actually represent splits. When learning drill, you can use splits to help you figure out where you are supposed to be horizontally on the field. However, when you look at the field's vertical axis, you will notice that there is no natural reference to use to figure out your location. As a result, we mark the field with gax when learning drill. We use masking tape to tape the field every 4 steps or 2.5 yards to break the field down even further, ensuring accuracy and precision when practicing or learning new drill. So now that you understand how a drill sheet breaks down the field, you can understand how we break down the show in a way we can comprehend. Like how music is divided up into measures, our drill is divided up into sets. Sets are basically freeze frames, or checkpoints. As you're aware, the point of the show is so that the whole band moves together in a way that portrays the image the drill writer is trying to show the audience. Sets, as they vary in length, ensure that the correct image forms at the correct time and speed. Each drill sheet represents each set or checkpoint. The set number can be found at the bottom left corner of each page. During each set, each member of the band will be found in varying places on the field. If you look at the field, each letter represents a person on the field. Each section has a letter. For example, the flutes are represented by the letter F, while color guard is represented by the letter G. The asterisk shapes on the field represents where the props are. The props we use for each show vary from year to year, and in the 2016 show, they were tarps that were cut into triangular and circular shapes. Now, within each section, each member is assigned a number. The number lasts for the whole show, as it decides where the specific player goes on the field. For demonstration purposes, let's say I am F70, flute number 70. Let's say the band was learning set number 10, and Andrea told us to find our dots. For those of you who don't know, a dot is your temporary location on the field during a certain set. A dot is a very specific spot on the field, and it is only the size of a tennis ball. The little black dot at the center of your letter represents your dot on the field. Accuracy is very important, so make sure to be exact. So going back to me learning set number 10. Now I would use my surroundings to figure out where exactly I'm supposed to be on the field. I'm on side number 1, 2 steps inside the 45-yard line. I'm also 10 steps behind the front hash. Now, if you notice when I was describing my location on the field, I used very specific wording. For example, I said 2 steps inside the 45-yard line because I am 2 steps inward towards the center of the field. The center of the field is the 50-yard line. If I had said 2 steps outside the 45-yard line, I would be on the other side of the yard line. I also explained that I am 10 steps behind the front hash because when describing your dot, you should look at it from the homestand's point of view. From the homestand's point of view, F70 is located behind the line, rather in front of the line, hence why I said 10 steps behind the front hash. You may also notice how I didn't use the 50-yard line or the front sideline as reference points when describing my location. When figuring out where you are on the field, utilize the reference points that are closest to you to make it less complicated and confusing for you to figure out. Remember, when we are running these sets over and over again, you want to make it easy for you to check and see if you are in the correct location. We will be doing this exercise in class. I will link a drill sheet in my bio, so please check it out. Now that you understand how to find your dot, recall that I told you that sets vary in size. Well, the drill sheet also tells you how long it takes for you to go from set to set, and how long you should hold in a set. Notice on the drill sheet there is a little white box that reads, hold for, etc., etc. This white box is describing how long you should stay in this position before moving on to the next page. Hold means to halt, so you are supposed to halt at this dot for 4 counts. Before floating, this means to move or march, using 12 steps to the dot on set 10A. This box may also provide you with additional information from the drill writer. For example, for this set, brass and woodwinds must follow the leader. meaning that rather taking a direct line path to their next dot, which is what you're supposed to be doing normally when you go from set to set, they follow the steps of the person in front of them. This makes the movements look a lot differently. Also, notice how it reads bar 37 and numbers 38 through 40. This means that these motions are occurring during these specific measures of music, relating the music to the movements in the drill. Now that you guys know how to read drill, we will teach you how to apply the skills you obtained during summer band to the drill in the field show. We will start off with guiding and utilizing your peripheral vision. Now, when first learning drill, it is important that you focus on dot accuracy and being in the tennis ball size spot the drill writer intended you to be in. However, as you get further into the season and during competition, remember that we are trying to convey an image to the judges and the audience. This is when guiding comes in handy. It is when you use your peripheral vision to ensure that the band is creating the correct shape. You, however, must find the balance between guiding to others and being dot accurate when forming a shape. Because if you simply guide, people could drift and get hurt, while if you are simply dot accurate, you may make the form look wonky and lose us points. Don't worry too much about guiding for now. Your section leaders will explain it to you in more depth later on in the season. Furthermore, it is also important to use your peripheral vision when watching a drum major for time, but being at box center with your horn. Additionally, please remember that although you reference the 8 to 5 step size when learning drill, when marching in the show, you may not always utilize the 8 to 5 step size. For example, you may only be given 4 steps but have to make it 5 yards, depending on what the drill writer wrote. On top of this, remember that in the show, you will have to use transition feet a lot, as well as alternate from forwards marching to backwards marching. And also remember that when sliding in the field show, you may not always be at the 90-degree angle we always practice at. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Congratulations on finishing the last video of Summer Band. Again, if you guys have any questions, ask us at our next meeting. Alright, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!